Hey, and welcome to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about the psychological aspects involved in the process of getting someone to buy your product. This course, it has a different approach in comparison with most courses out there, because what most courses want to do is just provide you with a process to follow, a method, a strategy that you can implement in a step-by-step way, and then that's it. Well, not that those things are bad, but those things, without what we want to share here, they just do not work. And I'm sure that if you have tested other methods and strategies without results, you totally understand that. So what we want to do here is really help you understand the marketing aspects involved in the process. You can have the right method for running a certain type of campaign, let's say PPC campaigns, for example, but if you do not know how to convince people who are going to your web page, your landing page, to buy your products, or to get them to complete your offer or opt in for the list or something like that, eventually, having the right process for running the PPC campaign and having the right process for that, it's going to be totally useless. So for this reason, the goal of this course is really show you how you can have a better performance when interacting with people, when you are interacting with your potential customers, because that's exactly what it all comes down to. At the end of the day, in this internet marketing industry, it's all about marketers trying to convince people to perform actions that they want those people to perform. So it's the same with your campaigns. When you're running a campaign, it's not just you targeting an audience and then promoting an offer. Basically, what you're doing with all that process is just trying to kind of talk to someone and convince them to perform a specific action. And if you do not know how to do that, how to convince them to do that, all of the other things involved in the process will not be able to help you. So that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in this video, and that we're going to show you how you can use many strategies and also how you can use the tools inside AFKit to improve the way that you convince people to complete your offers. And this is so powerful. This can really literally completely change the ROI of your campaigns and make campaigns that just waste money, that just lose money, become cash cows and make you a ton of money. And I'm not exaggerating here, it's really that powerful. So in this video, we're going to be talking about some of those psychological triggers or psychological aspects that you should use while trying to convince people to perform an action, and that will kind of force them to go through the process and do what you expect them to do. You'll see that these things are so powerful because I'm sure that as a customer yourself, I'm sure that you have already seen many of those things on other landing pages and web pages, and eventually you have felt for some of them, you have bought some of those products, and you will then understand how powerful those things are and how powerful they can be for you if you start using them with your campaigns. So that said, let's go to the first one. So the first thing for you to keep in mind is that people are lazy. People don't want to do things. People don't want to take action. And they want to stay in their comfort zone. So when they see something that they like on the internet, the first thing that they think is, oh, I like this thing. But then the second thing they think is, okay, I'm going to get back to this tomorrow and see if I go for it or not. So they always procrastinate. This is normal. It's just us being like human. And it's something that happens with almost everyone. But the thing here is that when people leave it for tomorrow or for a further moment, most of the times, I'd say like 90% of the times, they do not come back to that thing. They do not, just come back to your page, to your landing page, and complete your offer. So if you don't get people to act like instantly, you lose them. And then of course you can never make your campaigns profitable. So it's so important that you kind of force them to leave their comfort zone and act immediately. If you can do that, you're going to get a lot more conversions with your campaigns. And one of the very good ways to do it, or potentially the most efficient way to do it, is by creating a sense of urgency. Scarcity makes people act. So if you tell them that you got such a great ebook to share with them, maybe they will think that the ebook is nice and will come back tomorrow, but as we know, they will never come back. But if you tell them that you've got an ebook to share with them that's amazing, but that they have only like 1 or 2 minutes to get that ebook before you take the page down, well then they will most likely take action immediately if they believe it's really a good ebook for them. Or you can also tell them that you're giving away just 100 copies for free and that 95 copies are already gone. So they have to act fast because they are one of the last 5 people, and if they miss that chance, they will never get access to that information again. So it's going to kind of force people to to act as well. So it's very important that on your page that you create a sense of urgency. And FKit provides with the tools for doing that. FKit provides you with the scripts for creating those timers and those scarcity triggers that will help you force people to take massive action like instantly. Start using this with your campaigns, start implementing those tools on your landing page, and you'll see that the results will be fantastic. You'll see that way more people will take action immediately instead of just procrastinating and at the end of the day end up doing nothing and never taking action. So make sure that you use this and you'll see that more conversions will come. When something sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. At least that's what most people think. So when you make promises, when you claim something on your landing page and campaigns, you want to make sure that those things sound realistic. Of course, you have to present people to great opportunities, to great deals, so that they're going to feel that like they really need to act. But you still want to make those things realistic. Let me give you an example. Let's say, for example, that you are promoting a dating service, and then you just tell the guy that he's going to be able to start talking to 10 girls in the next 5 minutes on your website, and that all of those girls will be in areas near him and that they're going to be crazy to go out with him. Of course, this is not realistic, and the guy's not going to buy that. He's not going to believe in that. On the other hand, if you just tell him that there are many members in his area and that some of those members are beautiful girls who are single and who are looking for someone, he's going to be way more likely to believe in that because it sounds like something completely possible. So this is the kind of thing you want to do. You want to make things look great, but still you don't want to make them look unrealistic. It's very, very important to make sure that people do not that you do not lose your credibility with your visitors when they see what you were promising them, what you're telling them that they're going to get when they go for your service or buy your product. Manipulating people's attention, it's also very important for creating profitable campaigns on the internet because there is a flow that you need people to follow. First, you need them to click on the ad, then you want them to go through certain things on your landing page, then there is a button where you wanted them to click and so on. So it's very important that you get to manipulate their attention so that they focus at the right things at the right moment, and at the end of the day they're going to complete the entire process and just do what you want them to do. And there are simple things you can do to get people to perform the right actions. I'm not talking about complicated things. I'm just talking about getting people to click the right button, read the right piece of text, watch the right video. And let me give you a practical example using a tool that you have available here inside FKit. If you have already gone through the tools, you know that there is the glossy image tool which applies a glossy effect on the images, and it can be used with many different types of images, but it's especially powerful with buttons. Because when you make the button look like that, and when you apply the glossy effects to the button, you make it just more attractive for people to click on it. It's just a psychological thing, but it looks more professional and looks more like a button, and eventually more people will end up clicking that button just because of that effect. So it's not about really just the content that you have or what call to action you have in the button, but the way that the button looks. So that's just one simple example, but that simple thing can increase your click-through rate, or the click-through rate of your landing page by 20–25%. Just that simple thing. And that proves that it's possible to manipulate people's attention depending on what you show them. If an image is an image that doesn't grab a lot of attention, probably they're not going to pay a lot of attention to that image. If it has an effect that makes it stand out, that's going to be the first thing that they will see when they go to your page. And this type of thing, it's very important for you to make people go through a flow that's the ideal flow, and that's going to eventually convince them to buy the product. So think about this, and also always use those attention triggers to ensure that people see what you want them to see. You can use red arrows, eye-catching images, glossy effects, shadows, other types of effects, images with a lot of contrast. There are many different types of effects you can use to make sure that people pay attention to what you want them to pay attention to. Another important thing is to make people feel like they are taking advantage on a massive opportunity. Let me give you an example. I don't know if it's like this where you live, but here where I live, the supermarkets, they oftentimes create a very nice thing or a very nice trick to get people to buy more products. Let's say that you go to the supermarket and you want to buy a soda. Then you go to that section where you have the sodas and you're going to choose the one you want. And you see that they have a promotional thing there that if you get 5 sodas, you're going to pay for just 4 sodas. So basically, we're getting 1 for free. You buy you pay for 4 sodas and you go home with 5 sodas. So you get an extra one totally free. Well, most people go to the supermarket with the intention to buy just one product. But when they see that, they feel like they have to take advantage on such a great opportunity. They feel that they have to be smart and that they will be smart by doing that. So they end up buying 5 sodas instead of just 1. And it's just because they think they're getting something extra for free for being smart. It's kind of, they see that extra soda as a reward for them being smart. So when you create this kind of situation for people, they end up doing things just to feel better with themselves. And well, anyways, at the end of the day, you get the sale, you get the action, and sometimes even more than you needed or than you would originally. For example, if you were going to sell 1 soda, now you sell 5, so it's much better. So this kind of thing can be used on the internet as well. Let me give an example. Let's say that you want to capture leads and then you offer people an ebook. Okay, they're going to see the ebook, see if it's interesting or not, and decide whether they want to subscribe for your list or not to get that ebook. But then you can tell them that they're going to get the ebook, but they will also get an extra ebook, another one, which is available only for the first 50 people who take action, only for the action takers. And if they act fast, they're going to get that extra ebook that's even more powerful, that reveals something even more interesting for them. Well, in this case, they're going to feel like they're being smart by being one of the first 50 people, that they're going to feel like action takers, smart people, and that they're going to go for it just to get that reward, even though they're not even sure if they need that or if they're going to end up using that or not. So this kind of psychological effect, it's very, very powerful to get people to act. Give people the idea that they are taking advantage on something, that they are taking advantage on a massive opportunity, that they are being smart, that they are ahead of the others by doing that, and then they're going to go for it, not only because of the product, but also because of how they feel about themselves being so smart and taking advantage on that. So it's a very simple psychological trigger. As I told you here, the supermarkets use that all the time. I don't know where you live, but I'm sure that in the supermarkets and grocery stores near you, I'm sure that you can go there and find many of similar strategies being used there. So it's not new, but most people do not know how to use this on the internet. And it's so simple and so powerful that if you're not doing this, you're missing a great opportunity. So make sure that you start using this psychological trigger as well. Okay, so that's it. Thanks a lot for taking the time to watch this video. And in the next videos, we're going to continue to talk about these psychological things and how to use these things to get more clicks with the ads, to improve the landing page, to get more conversions, more opt-ins. And basically, we're going to start talking about using these psychological triggers in practice and how you can combine them with each element of your campaign. So that's it. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.